I'm giving away a brand new set of Rode Wireless Pro microphones to one lucky viewer. All you've got to do is be subscribed and leave a comment telling me what you do with them if you want. Every video between now and April 20th is another chance to win. I'll pick one random comment to win on April 25th. Good luck. Now let's move on. This is the new Dell Ultrasharp U3425WE 34-inch curved Thunderbolt hub monitor, Dell's 2024 34-inch refresh, and we're going to answer the question, should you buy it? We'll talk specs and features, strengths and weaknesses, and depending on what you plan to use it for, see if it's the perfect jack of all trades or if there's another monitor you should buy. Let's roll that unboxing. I want to make it clear that Dell did not send me this monitor to review, and even if they did, I'd still give my honest, unbiased opinion. That said, I could really use your guys' help to make my channel even better. I found success with monitor-related videos, and I want to make them better by being able to get all kinds of measurements and data for you guys, but the tools to get that done are very expensive for my small channel, so besides hitting that subscribe button and notification bell, you can really help me out simply by using the links in the description to make your purchase. I appreciate those that do. Now let's get into the video. So last year I reviewed the previous model, the U3425WE, and at the time I uploaded the video, it retailed for a whopping $1,259, which was insanely expensive, so I could not recommend it, and what do you know, Dell eventually dropped the price and it's now $689. Well, looks like the same thing happened here because I ordered my U3425WE the day it went live and paid $1,019, and by the time it got here and I started this review, it already dropped down to $819. You better believe I'm calling Dell to get my $200. Starting with build quality, it comes housed in the same hard plastic shell pretty much every Dell monitor comes with, and though the base is wide, it's a much better solution than the large C or V-shaped stands brands like LG tend to use. The middle of the stand has a good-sized hole for cable management, and once put together, the entire monitor has a max height of about 21 inches, a width of about 32 inches, a depth of about 9.5 inches, and weighs in around 24 pounds. It is height adjustable, can swivel left and right, can tilt upward and downward, and just barely pivot to each side. The screen has a 1900R curve and is coated with a matte anti-glare display. Reflections really shouldn't be an issue, and windows shouldn't be a pain. Where this monitor shines is with its crazy connectivity. Let's start from the left and work our way right. We have a Kensington lock, then your power connector, an HDMI port, a DisplayPort 1.4, a Thunderbolt 4 downstream port for daisy chaining displays, a Thunderbolt 4 upstream port that can transmit video and data and be used in alternate mode with DisplayPort 1.4, and has power delivery up to 90 watts so it can charge your MacBook Pro. We then have a USB-C upstream port, data only, 3 USB Type-A downstream ports, an audio line out, another USB Type-A downstream port, and an RJ45 Ethernet port. On the bottom front, we'll find another USB Type-A downstream port with BC 1.2 power charging and 2 USB-C downstream ports with power charging, although only 15 watts. And if you pay attention to the area beside the ports, something you don't see very often these days, one of the 2 built-in 5-watt speakers, which we'll demo later in the video. So if you don't have PC speakers or an audio interface with studio monitors, you at least have something to get you by for now, and with all that connectivity, you'll be able to use the monitor's KVM function, where you can use a single mouse and keyboard to control multiple computers. If we take a look at the quick menu, we can access some functions like turning on and off auto brightness. We can display the monitor's info. We can change our input source, change preset modes, and manually adjust brightness and contrast. If we click up, we can access the full menu where we can also change the response time, set picture-in-picture, assign KVM functions, raise the volume, or do a factory reset. This is a 3440 by 1440p IPS black display with an advertised 2000:1 contrast ratio and max brightness of 300 nits, and one of the big selling points is the 120 Hz refresh rate these newer monitors are coming with. Now, how much of a difference will it make over a 60Hz monitor in normal day-to-day use? I don't really think it's something that the average consumer who may use this for browsing or work from home will really notice, but it's been some time since I've used a 60Hz monitor, so maybe if you're comparing them side by side, the difference will be noticeable. It's got 110 pixels per inch, and while it's hard to really show an example of text fringing, now that I've been using my QD OLED as my everyday monitor where smaller text can be harder to read, and smaller print really starts to show its flaws, going back to an IPS display, while not perfect, I definitely feel like there's a perceivable difference. All that said, where I really think this monitor is going to shine is for the work from home crowd. In addition to what I've mentioned, you're also getting improved Comfort View Plus, which helps reduce blue light, and as someone who used to grind out 12-hour shifts in a call center, those headaches and migraines you get from staring at a screen all day are real. You've also got an ambient light sensor you can turn on so the monitor will auto-adjust brightness and temperature based on your environment, because having an overly bright screen in a dark room can also cause you eye strain and headaches. Now, sometimes my wife works from home and wishes she had a dual monitor setup like in the office, and thanks to the internal multi-stream transport system, you can actually set up your display in a dual screen mode to mimic having two monitors. You can do it right from the monitor, so no software is needed, but I recommend you download the Dell Display Manager, where you can choose from a lot more screen configurations and really customize how you have your window set up. Again, it is an IPS display that uses a backlight LED edge light system, so you will get some backlight bleed, but it's far from the worst I've seen and is mainly noticeable on the top corners, with a little bit on the bottom corners. It's not really something that's going to bother anyone unless you're specifically looking for it, and when the monitor is on, it's near impossible to notice unless you have a completely black screen. When it comes to photo editing, I will say that its advertised 100% sRGB and BT709 color gamuts with a Delta E under 2 are substantial enough to really make a difference. Looking at these images I edited on my QD OLED, I realized they were too saturated and have since dialed them down, which now has me rethinking which monitor I should stick with. It's really hard to find a perfect all-in-one that can excel at gaming and editing, but I think for color work you're covered here, and this is just the sRGB default. You can always calibrate for more accuracy. On the other hand, when it comes to gaming, this is not going to be the best choice for you, especially when you consider the fact that the MSI MAG341CQP QD OLED, which is the 34-inch monitor I currently use, is only $10 more at the time of this video and will get you way better performance than the 8 or 5 millisecond response time this Dell monitor has, not to mention there's no G-Sync, no FreeSync, no HDR. I could go on, but if gaming is your intention, there are much better options these days. That said, if you're not a serious competitive gamer and want an editing-first monitor that can still handle a little gaming on the side, then sure, it'll do the job, just know that's not where it's going to shine. Now, I found myself turning the brightness all the way up to 100 and setting the color space to movie mode, and I'm pretty satisfied with the results. Here's some Halo Infinite gameplay using the built-in speakers to show off what it can do.
Chief, over here.
Enemy reinforcements. On this ring because of you, Chief. Keep it up.
At the end of the day, when it comes to different types of users, I really think this product is going to appeal to those of you who need a solid productivity monitor and are primarily working from home or running your own business. It should still do the job for editing photography and should be amazing for video work as well, especially once it's calibrated, but for gaming, I'm going to drop the link to the MSI QD OLED I mentioned in the description. If you want a 34-inch gaming monitor, I love it and I think you'll appreciate it as well. If there's a product or monitor you'd like to see on this channel, let me know in the comments below, but that's going to wrap things up for today. I'll see you next time.